First, of course, the brilliant singer, composer, humanitarian. I mean, he really does it all, and well, America's been in love with this young man for 15 or 16 years now, and he's known in every nook and corner of the world. He's right now in the middle of a very successful nationwide tour, and he's got a wonderful new album that really says it all. It's called One World. He's going to come out and sing one of your favorite songs right now, and one I love too. Here is John Denver. Hey! Thank you. Denver. Wonderful. We'll come back and talk to John right after this message. Look at this young man. We get a wrinkle, John. Shame on you. Come on. How can you be a star 16 years and not have some worry lines or something?
You're not looking closely.
No, I am. You look like the same youngster who walked on this show, what, in 1969?
I think it was 1969, and it was the very first television appearance that I had where I got a chance to come on and sing a song and to sit down and talk. And you gave me that break, and you had me on several times, actually. So I thank you very, very sincerely for that.
No, don't thank me. That audience fell in love with you the first time. Then we couldn't wait for your next appearance and the next one after that. But it's been a love affair with the audience for a long time with you.
Lucky for me. I love to sing for people. It's as simple as that. And I've been fortunate and very successful, and I have the chance to sing all over the world. I've been, this year I've been all over Europe and all over Australia, Before the year's over, I'm going to be in Africa and in the Soviet Union for the 3rd time. And I feel very, very lucky to be able to do the thing that I love most in the world and to have people out there who are willing to let me do it for them. So.
Sheena John backstage, as long as you're doing it, go ahead. And you know, you have a lot of concerns in the world. So while you're doing this, I was suggesting to him that he should also run for office, and the campaign would just go with you. It'd all be paid for at the same time.
Well, there's a campaign going on, but it has nothing to do with political office. So.
Can you do more with your singing than you could do in a...
I think so. I truly do feel very strongly about that. I thought about politics in the past, but one of the things that I want to do with my music is to bring people closer together. Music is a universal language, and it does do that. But as soon as you take a step politically or actually just about any other way, then you've chosen sides. And once you choose a side, then there are people who are on the other side. And I'm about bringing sides together, not pushing them further and further apart. So politics just has no interest for me whatsoever.
So you couldn't belong to a political party?
No, I don't want to. I think it's diminishing. I don't think politics works anymore in the world.
That's an interesting thought.
Well, you know, I think what politicians should be doing, what the government should be doing, is cleaning up the streets and getting rid of the garbage, and they should make sure that the highways are safe and that the airplanes are running in a safe manner. And I think decisions that have to do with how we handle our budget and how we deal with our relationship with people like the Soviet Union and whether or not we feel that $300 billion a year is making us safer in the world or not, those decisions ought to be left to the people.
Right. And what have you... Right. And what have you found in the Soviet Union? Of course, they don't have to spend $300 billion a year because everybody works for the state anyway.
So they have a different situation, and they don't have the choices that we do, obviously. But I'll tell you, everywhere that I've gone in the world, and most specifically in the Soviet Union, I sang Annie-Song, by the way, in Russian.
Russian,
that was
right.
a verse in Russian. They feel just exactly like we do. The Soviets are a wonderful people. They have a great sense of humor. They care about their children. They care about their future. They love their country, and they want a peaceful world to live in, and they're afraid of us. They're afraid of us.
Can they communicate that to their leadership?
Well, I think they have less of an opportunity than we do, but I think with changes that are going on there now, that opportunity is increasing for them.
I think it's easier there now.
I think it's getting easier.
See, I think we forget, you know, the tragedy of the Russians, many times, and how they must be so fearful of the same things that we are fearful of, which is war, nuclear.
But almost paranoid, because
how many people did they lose in Leningrad alone in World War II?
Leningrad, in the 900-day siege of Leningrad, lost over 600,000 people. The United States, in the entirety of the Second World War, lost just 458,000 people. Not to diminish that loss, not to negate it in any way, shape, or form, but just to have people understand our loss, and the war was not fought on our land. The Soviet Union in the Second World War lost 20 million people. And the war was fought there. Leningrad was under siege for 900 days. You could not get in there. And many of the 670-some-odd thousand people who died in the siege of Leningrad starved to death. There's a beautiful cemetery in Leningrad called Piskaryovsky Memorial, which is a memorial to all of the people who lost their lives in the Second World War. And when you enter the cemetery where people are buried in mass graves, there's a little octagonal building that has simple black and white photographs on the wall. And one of the places it has these sleds that were used to pick up the bodies. And it has a date. And on that date, 10,000 some bodies were picked up off of the streets. And on the next day, it was 8,000 and some. And on the next day, it was 8,500. And there's a little diary over here, a picture of a girl about 9 years old, the age of my daughter. And there's 5 pages out of the diary. And one page it says, her aunt passed away today. And the next page, it was her brother. And the next page, it was her father. And the next page, it was her grandfather. And the last page, it was her mother. And she couldn't say anything about mom. She couldn't say that Mama died. She says, Mama too. And that's all. And then a couple days later, she died. You can't go to this place and not have tears in your eyes and not feel what was given, you know, by all of the people. And one of the things that happened for me, at the bottom of the base of this beautiful statue that stands at the far end of the cemetery, a statue representing the motherland, engraved in the bottom are the words, no one will be forgotten, nothing will be forgotten. And I wondered the day that I visited there if we haven't forgotten, just as you suggest. So.
And they're incapable of changing their leadership. I mean, they're incapable of doing anything about their government.
Well, they don't.
Powerless people.
They seem,
where we can throw them right out of the office. Get out.
Yeah, we have a lot of opportunities that they don't have. And at the same time, I sense real changes going on in the Soviet Union. I think that this guy, Mr. Gorbachev, is a pretty sharp fellow. And I think he recognizes that, you know, it's like one of the things. If you look at the advances that China has made in the last 5 years, since they opened up to the West, they have grown in leaps and bounds, the technology that's going on there. The Soviet Union, to a large degree, is going the other way because of their unwillingness to open up to many of the things that the West has to offer and to make them useful in their society. But Gorbachev recognizes this, and there are real changes going on, and I think that what we need to do is support these people in their change, in their growth, and to recognize that they're part of our family. We all live, it's one world, folks. Either we're going to make it together or we're going to blow ourselves up. I think that peace is a conscious choice.
You sure you're not running for office?
I'm sure. I'm positive.
All right. John, you, I'm going to do a commercial here in a minute while you get set. But you have a song. It couldn't even be labeled song.
It's like an anthem, I think,
Anthem.
to me. Yeah.
You wrote.
I started it that first morning in Piskaryovsky Memorial Cemetery when I asked, have we forgotten all the lives that were given, all the vows that were taken, saying never again? And what added to the song is my experience with the hunger issue, having served on President Carter's commission studying hunger in the world for 2 years. The finding where our report said that we do more to serve peace in the world and national security by ending hunger than we could ever hope to do with all the nuclear weapons you can imagine. I believe that to be true. And then coming back from the Soviet Union on both trips and seeing the front page story about the American farmer. We lost 43,000 farms in our country last year. That's over 860 a week. I believe the small family farm, the small family business is the foundation of any society. If we lose that foundation, the society will fall. So the song comes out of all of that.
We'll take a break, and John Denver will sing for you. You want to say anything before you sing this song?
The first verse of this song is sung by an American farmer. The second verse is sung by an old man who survived the siege of Leningrad. The third verse they sing together, and the chorus at the end of the song is what I wrote that first bitter, cold morning in Piskaryovsky Memorial.
Okay, John Denver. Sing Let Us Begin from the One World album.
Western Oklahoma, 1943. I always felt grateful to live in the land of the free. I gave up my father to South Korea, the mine of my brother to Vietnam. And now there's a banker who says I must give up my land. There are 4 generations of blood in this topsoil, 4 generations of love on this farm. Before I give up, I would gladly give up my right arm. What are we making weapons for? Why keep on feeding the war machine? We take it right out of the mouths of our babies, take it away from the hands of the poor. Tell me, what are we making weapons for? I had a son, and my son was a soldier. He was so like my father, he was so much like me. To be a good comrade was the best that he dreamed he could be. He gave up his future to revolution, his life to a battle that just can't be won. For this is not living, to live at the point of a gun. I remember remember the moments I prayed I would never grow old. What are we making weapons for? Why keep on feeding the war machine? We take it right out of the mouths of our babies, take it away from the hands of the poor. Tell me, what are we making weapons for? For the first time in my life, I feel like a prisoner, a slave to the ways of the powers that be. And I fear for my children as I fear for the future I see. Tell me, how can it be we're still fighting each other? What does it take for a people to learn? If our song is not sung as a chorus, we surely will burn. What are we making weapons for? Why keep on feeding the war machine? We take it right out of the mouths of our babies and take it away from the hands of the poor. Tell me, what are we making weapons for? Have we forgotten all the lives that were given, all the vows that were taken, saying never again? Now for the first time, this could be the last time. If peace is our vision, let us begin. Have we forgotten all the lives that were given, all the vows that were taken, saying never again, never again? Now for the first time, this could be the last time. If peace is our vision, let us begin, let us begin.
John Denver. Thank you. Here comes our